right. And we're live here, back with Games and Guns, with your host here, Stephen Gutowski. And this week we have the lovely Dan Joseph on from the Media Research Center. And we will be playing a brand new addition to Call of Duty Ghosts, which is a classic game type called Gun Game, which essentially entails... Basically, you run around, and every kill you get a different gun.
Since Steve's been talking, I've already been killed twice at this game. I just want everybody to know that. Oh, 3 times.
So I just killed Dan there, and I went from a pistol to this awful revolver shotgun thing, and I got killed. But so essentially, the goal of this is to get to the last level, which is just a knife. So there's you get a huge variation of weapons that you're supposed to try to use.
My goal is
it's a lot of fun, I think.
Take phone and have somebody come and pick me up.
But today we're going to be talking about the brand new CBO report on Obamacare that everybody's talking about. That basically, spoiler alert, it's worse than everyone originally thought it was going to be. Just like every other major government program that's ever existed.
It's even more awesome than they promised it was going to be. That's the spoiler alert there. It's better. Because now, I love this. The guy comes out and they're questioning about these obviously terrible CBO reports, and the weird guy who I'd never seen before, and I could see why after the press conference happened, but the new spokesman guy, he was like, oh, well, this just means that people now can work less than they did before.
Yes, it's good news that we're going to be losing 2 million workers from the workforce. Or
that's a good thing, because now they can take more time off and get paid less and put less money back in the economy. And this was the actual argument that he was making. I was dumbfounded at it, and I feel like this guy made a mistake by telling the truth. Like, they told him to go out and say something else. Explain it this way, and he was like, "Oh, okay, I'll do that." And then he gets out there and said, "No, just fewer people in the workforce. That's what it means." Oops.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to be putting this guy out. I mean, did you see this guy?
I did. He was.
Looked like
I mean, his job is basically to polish a turd. So, what can you really expect from him?
Right. I mean, at least Jake Harney does it with conviction, though. This guy looked like he was a reject from the high school debate team. Like, they kicked him off the high school debate team because he was too big of a nerd.
Well, I think that's basically how you become economic advisor to the most liberal president we've had in.
But whose idea was it to let him talk? That's what I want.
Someone's already on the last level.
Wow, so somebody's already got the knife?
Yeah.
And he's probably going to stab me any minute now. Ooh, well, you know what I found? I found so much.
I got knifed to death. I suck.
Oh, man.
We lost. It was terrible. But, yeah, I mean, basically, the CBO says now that we're going to, because of Obamacare's subsidies, because you're basically, at a certain point, you're sort of paying people not to work.
Right, which is what we've been saying about liberalism for 50 years.
Sure, which is not an uncommon practice in government entitlements. That's what most of them do. You pay people. People get to a certain level of income, and it's worse for them to keep working because then they lose their government subsidy. And that's basically the problem that's happening again with Obamacare. Or at least to most people it's a problem. Like you're saying, apparently for liberals, that's a benefit. That's a good thing. That's what basically the White House was saying all day in press conferences on Twitter or wherever else. That, see, now these people won't have to work to provide food and income.
I think a couple of years ago, Nancy Pelosi really let the cat out of the bag on this whole thing when she actually said, "Oh, this is going to give people the opportunities to pursue other careers. So if you want to be an artist, or if you want to, be a musician, or you want to, weave baskets for a living, Obamacare will give you the opportunity because you're going to have a lot more free time that you don't have to spend working to pay for your health care."
Yeah, that's a good point. Pelosi predicted it.
So I think this is. I mean, this is just one more thing, though, really, that's just piling on before these elections start, and I don't know how they're going to deal with it.
Well, this is a big boon, though. This is great news. Didn't you hear?
Yeah,
it's wonderful.
I mean, maybe they can get a lot of young people who want to be in rock bands out to vote for them, and maybe that'll tilt the odds in their favor. Like, hey, now you have free healthcare, you don't have to work. Or maybe they can just get, maybe they just keep pushing on the birth control thing. Free birth control.
Well, Sandra Fluck is running for Congress.
So. That's really interesting. That's phenomenal, especially since it's going to cost her quite a bit to run for Congress, and yet she can't afford the birth control.
Right.
So she's going to do what? I think you have to spend $1,500 just to file for the campaign. Maybe she's getting that money from somebody else. Maybe she's getting it from Uncle Sugar, as Mike Uncle Sugar.
God. But yeah, I mean, what's there to be upset about? We're not losing jobs. We're just incentivizing people not to work.
Right. These are people who already didn't have jobs. No harm, no foul. Why can't I move? Oh, I'm spectating this round.
What? Why are you spectating?
I don't know. I'm just watching.
Get back in here so I can kill you.
Why don't you, dude?
Killed you last time.
Yeah. Not letting me. It's just letting me watch. It's decided that I'm not good enough at the game to actually play. Watch this time.
It's holding you out because you're terrible.
It is. It's like, you're not ready for this. You need to watch for a while and see how real men do it. Oops.
I get super competitive when I play this game, though. This specific type, for some reason, makes me really competitive because I'm pretty good at it, so I can actually win, and so.
Okay.
And there's a lot of times where it's sort of luck based, so you can get really frustrated.
I just got kicked out for inactivity, so.
What? Are you connected to the internet?
No, inactivity in terms of the game. I guess I wasn't moving because I couldn't.
Why did you? Why you should move?
I don't know. That's
part of the game is moving.
There's no one into the game. It's not
in here, guys. So I can
like I said, I think that.
Oh man. Yeah, but ultimately, I mean, this, like I said, it's just like every other entitlement that we've had forever. First of all, they always, if you remember back to when we passed Obamacare, one of the things was, the CBO score is only, it's only going to be like $1 trillion in deficit or whatever it was. It was supposed to be, because they game numbers. You can game the CBO. People like to pretend that it's like.
Yeah, they double counted. They made the savings. They found all these savings that didn't exist because they used the same $500 million or $500 billion to go towards the Medicaid expansion that they did to go towards the savings. So it was something ridiculous like that.
Right.
And they just kept telling people, oh, it reduces the deficit. Well, of course, we all knew that wasn't true for a long time. But now the CBO is actually saying, that's way, way off. I'm sorry it took them so long because, even they knew what the actual scoring of this was when this came out and when, Harry Reid decided to present the numbers the way he did.
Right. And they do that with every major expansion of government like this. It's always the case that the first estimates when they're trying to get some huge government program passed they always turn out to be smaller, and the benefits always turn out to be more or less robust. It's always the case that the original estimates are that it costs less and does more than in reality it actually ever does.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is.
Single government program that you could find that ever came in under budget, that ever came in even tied with what they scored it as, and this is particularly the case with this. But we all knew this. That's the thing about this. Everybody knew this was the case, and now, it's like every time something like this comes out, where millions of people lose their health insurance, well, we told you so. Where it comes in way more expensive than they said it was, well, we told you so. At a certain point, you almost get sick of saying it, and you're like, well, wait a minute. It's actually becoming a lot more painful, and saying I told you so isn't as cathartic as it once was. I mean, it's not as much fun anymore because you're seeing all these people actually get hurt by the program. So,
right.
There's something in politics where sometimes it's fun to actually say, look what you did, and look, we told you this was going to screw it up, and we were right and you were wrong. Now just admit it, at the same time, at a certain point, it just gets too bad, and you have to start saying, okay, what are we going to do about this? This is becoming a serious problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the problems with Obamacare are never ending. It's a huge disaster.
It is, and there's no way around it. And I think the repeal train has sort of left the building. What's really sad about it is that given that his entire presidency is invested in this program, he won't fix it. He won't do anything to fix it because that would be him admitting by default that it's a disaster. And if he does that, then basically, either way, he's screwed. The best thing he can do right now is sit around and hope that it gets better.
Yeah.
That's the only thing he can do if he doesn't want his presidency to.
Right. All right, now accept my. There we go.
There we go.
Back in. Get back into the gun game. I'm gonna win one of these at some point.
I was upset.
You should just stand in front of me the whole time, and I'll kill you 17 times.
Kill me over and over again and get your best gun that you can possibly get. That makes sense. You know what I'm playing right now, actually on my own, because I play the one-player games, because I don't have any friends, and nobody likes me. I've been playing this game called Conker's Bad Fur Day. Have you heard of this?
No, what?
Old 90s game. It was off originally for the N64, and then they released it again with an online shooter game for the Xbox 360. And the original platformer game was on there, but it's this game with this little squirrel, right? And you think, oh, it's a cute squirrel platformer for kids, but it's not. It's like an R-rated game with this squirrel, and the squirrel drinks, and he, has sex, and he pees on things to make them move, and there's poop everywhere. It was like the first adult game for any system, and it's actually a really, really good game. I mean, the controls are really good. It's really creative and really original, but sort of been forgotten in the whole.
That sounds like the kind of game that you would enjoy.
It is, it's the comedy. The writing is really, really good.
The writing in the squirrel poop game is.
Yeah, no, I mean it's very funny. It's very, very funny. So I don't know.
I don't doubt you.
Come over to my house and play the squirrel.
Maybe we'll do an episode with the squirrel poop game.
I don't think we can because it's not. It's only on Xbox One, and I don't think the online capabilities work for it.
Well, maybe we'll bring you into the studio and we'll play the squirrel poop game.
What do I have to do? Do I have to change loadout? No, default loadout. Okay, there we go.
Die, fella.
Heck.
You die now.
Cool.
You can't change loadouts. There's only one. Like it's just you get a gun and you gotta kill people.
I have a big gun with a scope on it now because I shot a guy in the face. Do I lose the gun if I die and I have to go back?
No, you keep the same gun until you kill someone with it.
It's awesome.
Like I just did.
Wouldn't it be funny if I actually won a game?
That would be pretty funny.
All right, I shot another guy. I'm doing well this time.
Yeah?
I feel like I might be cheating or something.
Oh yeah, I want to kill you. Bring you down.
Don't kill me. Give me a chance at least.
No. You're going to die.
Did you watch the Super Bowl?
Oh God.
You?
Did you kill me? No.
No.
It was some other guy. Yeah, I did watch this Super Bowl because I'm, from the first world.
An American.
I live in this realm.
I feel really. I'm kind of jealous of all those third world kids who get the losing team T-shirts. Like they're gonna get next week they're gonna think the Denver Broncos won the Super Bowl because they get all the equipment that says Denver Broncos Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, but I think it's a bad trend because it makes poor people have to dress like hipsters, and that just increases their suffering, I feel like.
Yes, but at the same time, those poor people now have clothing, so they don't have to walk around naked all day. I mean, it's a toss-up. I don't know what's worse, looking like a hipster or being perpetually naked, but either way, I mean, I kind of think that's cool. I kind of would want to buy a shirt that said...
Yeah, because you're a hipster who plays squirrel poop games.
That's true. That's true. You got a great point there. I mean, I also walk around naked a lot, too, though, so...
All the time.
Yeah. Me and Joe Shopstall. How is Joe Shopstall, by the way?
He's still riddled with syphilis. Right, Joe? He said yes.
Oh, is he there now?
He's over there. He has his headphones in, so he has no idea what we're talking about.
He has to sit around and like listen to this the whole time, and you're.
No, I think he's listening to Justin Bieber on his headphones right now.
Probably. That's probably true. He loves the Biebs. He must have been really upset when he got arrested.
He's really upset now, yeah. Sometime like that, the day he got arrested, he curled up into a ball. Just went fetal all day.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know Joe Shopstall and are watching this program, Joe Shopstall is a drag queen that works with Steve.
Yes. That's one way to describe him.
But he's really bad at it. He's a really bad drag queen. Like, he doesn't wear... Like, he just looks like a man completely. He doesn't do the makeup or the hair or anything, and he just wears a dress everywhere.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell if that's what he's doing, but you're right. That's exactly what it is.
He'll figure it out someday. He's, he's at the beginning stages of his drag queeniness.
Queeniness.
Yeah. Drag queening.
Official term for it.
I think so. I think that's the medical term.
But getting back to Obamacare.
Oh, yes.
For some reason. Just randomly going back to that because I thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I do transitions because I'm a good show host.
Yeah. Drag queens.
What we don't need to worry about, I think, is the collapse of the system due to young women not signing up because I don't know if you've seen this, but they've created a new ad campaign targeting specifically young women with talking animals.
Yes, I saw part of that today, and as an animal owner myself, it worked for me. I'm actually thinking of signing up for Obamacare because my cat is telling me to.
Yeah, it's like the Dr. Dolittle of poorly run government healthcare.
Right, exactly. But it's hard to resist your pets because, everybody, especially in this country, we love our animals, and young single women love their animals because they take the place of the boyfriend that they don't have. So if their dog or cat is going to tell them to sign up for Obamacare, then hey, that's a pretty reasonable argument. Also, I think what the commercial does too is it's saying, hey, I need you to be around to take care of me because I'm a helpless animal. So you need Obamacare right now.
Yeah, because you're a helpless animal and you need the government to take care of it.
I'm a helpless animal, and so are you.
Right, that's the message.
So you need to get some Obamacare, lady.
Also, you need to get a life, I think would be the other message involved there.
Get a boyfriend? Maybe. I don't know. I feel bad for young people who are kind of like in the middle of this whole thing, and they're just kind of being used politically by the administration to save this horrible program that they've created. I've read a couple articles saying recently, it's mostly by left-wing people who saying, we don't have to worry about the death spiral anymore, which is if there weren't enough young people to join the program, that it would collapse on its own. And now I guess some journalists are saying, oh, well, that's not going to happen now. They're enough. I'm not sure if I believe that at this point. I think it's still to be seen if the death spiral exists or not. But I don't know. You're at the mercy of the different journalists who are explaining the situation to you, because obviously Obamacare is so complicated that even really smart political people don't know exactly what's in it and what. Like, it was the other day when they announced that this big bailout for the insurance companies actually already in the bill.
Yeah, the risk corridors.
Didn't know about it because the bill was a bajillion pages long. So that's the kind of problem you have with this plan. And I hope that in essence Obamacare in the end, I hope what it really teaches us, if anything, is that you never want the federal government to pass anything that's comprehensive. You hear that word, comprehensive immigration reform, comprehensive healthcare reform, a comprehensive grand bargain for a budget deal, and you hear Democrats using it a lot. And really what that means is they want something so big that covers so many things that there's no possible way that we can have a reasoned debate on every single one of them. You don't want comprehensive anything. What you want is piecemeal, particularly when it comes to these important issues.
Yep. Yeah, otherwise you end up with something like the Farm Bill, which is like 75% food stamps and
I know
10% having to actually do with farmers.
Well, yeah, and the subsidies in there too for the farmers are something that I think really need to be re-examined in terms of the debate.
We all know that we need the government to manipulate our food markets, or else we'll all starve to death.
It seems like such a what's the word, throwback to the 1930s, but we're still doing it. It just shows you how still entrenched both parties are when it comes to special favors and all that. Why do I have a knife now?
Time to work, soldiers.
Yeah. You got a knife and a gun.
I got
if you knife people,
a gun too.
Oh God! What? Whoa! Whoa!
Lag
just disoriented me so much. If you knife people in this, they go back a level.
Oh, okay.
So.
What if you?
Some people like to be complete jerks and just run around knifing people the whole time, and those people make me want to do horrible, unspeakable things to them.
They should give one player a spork, and if they kill somebody with the spork, they get a bazooka or something. Okay. They get to drive around with a tank.
Sporks are ungodly, so I don't use them.
Oh, come on. You don't use sporks? What if you need to eat a soup that it has like pieces of stuff in it, but is too liquidy to use a fork?
If sporks are unnatural, they don't appear in the natural world, so I don't.
Well, you see, that's just your religion talking. You can't say that, man. Yes, sporks were not created, by God, but they are still a thing, and we should allow them to get. We should allow forks and spoons to get married.
Sporks are worse than cloning. So that's where I stand.
I'm totally for equal spork rights. I believe that it's a very important fight for me. I go to all the marches, and I think spork intolerance is one of the things that's really harming this country.
You and your sporks are harming this country. You sick, perverted man.
Hey man, I'm not saying I'm a spork myself, but I think that they should have the, how does it hurt me if the sporks are allowed to have the same dinner silverware rights as the other items on the table?
All I know is that I shouldn't have to pay for your damn sporks.
my silverware's birth control. I think that's an Obamacare.
Sporks are like breeding a pit bull and a poodle.
You know what they should make? They should make. I mean, you have the sporks. Why don't they have the knife come into it and make like a knife / fork that you could use, or a knife and a spoon that you could use, like a spife.
Does your depravity know no limits?
Or a knork.
Sir?
Yeah. I'm so bad. I'm such a. Satan has gotten a hold of me. Hey, did you hear about the creationist debate tonight?
No.
Oh yeah, Bill Nye the Science Guy and some the Answers in Genesis guy are having a big debate tonight.
Yeah, that's what we need. A guy who played a scientist on TV and a man who runs an amusement park to debate science.
I don't know. The way you just put it sounds pretty good.
This is CNN. I wish I had the voice, the CNN voiceover to play right now.
This is CNN.
A man who played a scientist on TV and a guy who runs an amusement park will debate science tonight.
I think Bill Nye should ride in a Triceratops. That'll be hilarious. He wins. He rode in on a dinosaur. He wins automatically.
God.
What was your favorite commercial for the Super Bowl?
The one where Peyton Manning threw five interceptions and no touchdowns. Oh, that was the game.
Like the one where Peyton Manning saw the little kid and he's coming out of the tunnel, and the little kid has a Coke, and he gives Peyton Manning his Coke, and then Peyton Manning takes off his jersey and he throws the jersey to the little kid, but it gets intercepted by a Seahawks player and he runs away with it.
That was a pretty good one too.
Pretty good commercial. Poor guy. I feel bad for Manning. I mean,
I do too.
He's still a great quarterback, but just like he had one of those days where nothing went right, and it just happened to be the most important game of the year.
It just happened to be the biggest game of his life.
I think that.
Do you think that damages his
his legacy? Yeah, I think it does. I mean, I think that anytime you lose a Super Bowl by that many points, it does. But you remember, I mean, the same thing ironically happened to John Elway twice. John Elway lost 2 Super Bowls by lopsided margins, or one of them he lost by a lopsided margin. The other one was a little closer, but
right.
But and then he came back later and he won 2 Super Bowls, and he obviously a Hall of Famer, and he was able to redeem himself. I don't know if it's too late in Peyton Manning's career for him to do that. I hope not.
Well, I think I mean, he's already won a Super Bowl, so it's not like what does he have to prove to people? I don't. It doesn't help his career, obviously.
No.
He lost in that game, and that'll be something that maybe people. You know what I think most people will eventually say about that game later down the road is that he set like a record for most completed passes.
That's right. No, I mean
they'll probably be mentioned completely out of context with the game as part of his legacy because.
Of course, he was behind for a long, long time. He was way behind, so he had to throw a lot. And also, towards the end, I felt like Seattle was basically giving him all the easy stuff, and just letting him sort of, go down the field, and then they would take the ball away, or they would just get them on downs. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it wasn't like the worst game a quarterback has ever played, but the quarterback, that's the role in the game is he's going to get the credit and he's going to get the blame.
Right. I just think that his legacy is pretty secure. I mean, he's easily one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Sure, it's not the greatest, and I think it's probably worse for him than it is for anybody who's judging him. I don't think there are a lot of people out there going, "Oh, he's done. He needs to retire." I don't think the Denver Broncos are going to fire Peyton Manning next week because he's just, you lost that game. We have no use for him. We're going to hire Mark Sanchez instead.
Right. I would say that Tim Tebow had a better game than Peyton Manning.
Yeah,
because he had those those commercials were hilarious.
Love Tim Tebow, and what was it? Did you see Dan Gaynor's tweet during the Super Bowl about Tebow?
No, what was it? I'm killing you though right now. Oh, you died. Oh, then I died.
I think he
said
something
shot you in the back. What did Dan Gaynor say about Tebow?
I think he implied that Tim Tebow would be doing a lot better job right now than Peyton Manning was doing. And I said, but he'd have to get to the game first, and that was always Tim Tebow's problem was, getting to the Super Bowl.
Well, so, I don't know though because I'm one of the people who thinks that Tim Tebow got a raw deal in the fact that
I think he did. I think he did kind of get a raw deal.
I mean,
and I don't think he ever knew how good he was.
Right. He's an unorthodox player. I think in the NFL that means that you get looked at a lot differently.
Sure, I think that his
just
problem
like even RG3 now, as people are questioning whether or not he's really a good quarterback because he had a bad year.
I think that RG3 the problem was the damn knee thing. I don't think he was ready to come back and play. With Tebow, I think he just didn't. I think teams had problems fitting him into their style of play because it was so different than what most teams had based their play on. Oh, I'm allergic to Tim Tebow.
I just think that the NFL it gets into these the sort of groupthink about how quarterbacks should play, and if you don't fit that mold, then you don't get to be a quarterback in the NFL. Basically, if you have any struggles at all, and I mean, it's not like Tebow even had struggles. I mean, he won a playoff game the first year he actually got to start.
That's true. That's true. He had some great games. He won a couple games in comeback wins.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of heart too. So I don't know. I think I don't think he got the kind of chances he deserved. I don't think though that it's appropriate really to be. I don't think people should make him into something that he never became. Say, oh well, he would have been Peyton Manning if he had just been given the chance. I think. We gotta contain ourselves.
I still hope that some. Oh my! So
drafted. I'd like to see him drafted by somebody and given a shot.
Yeah. Did you killed you again?
Shit.
Did you see the Coke commercial that everyone was talking about?
I did. Now? I knew when that came on. I was watching and I was like, you know what? This is gonna cause some consternation with some people. I hoped it didn't. I almost felt like they made it specifically so that would happen.
Yeah.
And they could make a big news story out of it. But honestly, I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't think it was that great of a commercial. I didn't think there was anything spectacular about it other than the amount of controversy it caused. And I get the feeling, Coke is a smart company. They're not stupid. They know what they're doing now, and they know how Twitter works. So I think that maybe some marketing guy there who's probably a genius was saying, hey, you know what? If we do this our commercial is going to get a lot more attention than it probably deserves because there's going to be a lot of people who are upset, and then the upset people are going to be made a news story by the people who are going to call them racist and bigoted, and we can really make something out of that. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think there was someone claimed that people are. I hate when someone is going around and just knifing people.
Yeah,
those people deserve to be burned alive, in my opinion. By the way,
I mean, but really, it's a good marketing ploy, good marketing strategy in terms of, ooh, hey, I found a candy machine.
Oh, and I killed you. Thanks, candy machine.
Turn around. You'll see the candy machine.
Yeah, I saw it. I gave it a fist bump because it helped me kill you.
What's in there? I'm gonna go back and find it and find out what's in the. There's so many great things in this game. Phones, candy machines.
It's lifelike. There's a lot of
people.
Outdoor candy machines.
They should make the candy machine. They should make the candy machine a playable character in this.
Now that's a game I would play.
You run around, you shoot Snickers bars at people. Candy Machine's Great Adventure.
You pop out and you're like, feeling hungry? And then you kill them with Snickers.
It looks like, I'm looking in the candy machine now, it looks like they have like, sort of like, those weird Hispanic Mexican snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that. They look like they're out of gum. Maybe if I shoot the candy machine. That's a good way to get free stuff.
Shooting candy machines? Just like real life.
Somebody just shot me. They're posting, what the hell is he shooting the candy machine for?
People, it was probably one of those Michelle Obama types, like, stay away from that candy machine.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Did you hear about this whole Subway thing where Michelle Obama, is promoting Subway because they're healthy?
Oh, I got second place.
Good job, man. I got fifth place.
No, maybe. It was bad. Second place. See, I want to find these people that are just running around knifing them, and I want to, peel their skin off in one piece.
I know, that's a normal feeling. That's a normal feeling for a young man like yourself to have.
It's infuriating. I hate it.
Well.
Makes me freak out.
You're still angry.
But the Coke commercial. Going back to that. It didn't bother me. I liked the message that they were going for. I liked the melting pot. The America's this great melting pot of thousands of different cultures coming into one to embrace the American ideal. I can see why. I think some people are just idiots, obviously, and that's part of the backlash.
Like Joe.
Yeah, like that Joe Schaufstall.
Right.
Weirdo.
Fucking...
but I think part of it is like.
Hey. They're in America. They should speak American. That's probably what he said when he saw it.
But part of it, I think, what I don't like is I want a melting pot, and I think an integral part of being a melting pot is having a shared language, having common language. That's what makes it work. One of the things that makes it work. I don't want to see like a situation like they have in Canada with like Quebec where they're really not the same. They're really not one culture. They're not one country. They're sort of a bunch of subcultures that don't really interact.
A lot of people in this country don't really understand that there's a difference between diversity and multiculturalism.
Yeah.
Diversity is good. You want people from different places, but multiculturalism, where they're all living in their own little tribes and speaking their own languages, that's bad. You don't want that. And I do think that it wasn't necessarily saying that. It was saying,
I don't think the ad says that, and that's why it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it was just
like part of your. It's not wrong to bring your heritage with you when you become an immigrant to, the U.S. And part of that, for most people, obviously, is their home language.
Yeah, but you go around and you ask people, hey, should we have multiculturalism in this country? And they're like, yeah, we should have that, because they don't know what multiculturalism actually is. Right. It's a separation. It's not integration, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand because they hear these fun words like multiculturalism and they think it means there's lots of cultures. Yeah, cultures are great. But that's really not what you want. You don't want it. And they had that problem in Europe too, increasingly with the Muslims there, and like you said, Canada, where the Muslims are are making their own little areas, and they're just not
and I think that's one of the problems with illegal immigration in this country as well, is that most immigrants want to be they want to be Americans. That's why they come here. But with at least a sizable amount of illegal immigrants, they don't necessarily come here because they want to be Americans or because they love America. They come here because they want work, right, essentially.
And you saw a lot of that out in California and Los Angeles when I lived there. You saw a lot of people who just didn't speak English and had no interest in learning to speak English, and they would work these jobs, and they could work these jobs because they didn't need to speak English, and it made you wonder about things, and they were overwhelmingly illegal. Right. So yeah, it happens. It happens a lot, and it's something you have to be very wary of. I think a lot of people are, especially a lot of people in conservatism, are even more concerned with the Muslim. The multiculturalism.
But I think in the end, though, like that's not what this commercial was saying.
No, I don't think it was. I think what it was saying was, look how great, America is. That all these people associate are really what is Coca-Cola is one of our greatest symbols of America, whether you like it or not. It is. I mean, we are. It has become sort of a cultural icon for us, and everybody loves it, and it's one of the reasons why. I mean, I don't know if it is one of the reasons why America is still revered in so many ways, but it just certainly has something to do with it. And I think it was really a way to honor America more than anything else. To say, America is, still has an important role around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was the point. I think the point was to show sort of the rich culture that we have, the diverse, because it's like you see a shot of like an Islamic woman buying a hot dog in Chinatown, and it's just sort of this. That's what America is the part of our cultural heritage is how much we bring together all these other cultures and all the best parts of them.
Although they should do a commercial where they show the worst parts of them.
Yeah, mainly like they could just show this show right here. You talking about squirrel poop video games?
Hey, listen, you can't.
While we make fun of Joe.
I'm like standing on top of a truck and shooting people at this point.
It sounds like a great strategy to win.
It is. It's a good strategy.
This game is taking forever because there's these stupid little jerks running around just knifing people the entire time. And I'm seriously going to find them in real life, and I'm going to... Oh, hi, Dan. There you are. I'm going to find them in real life, and I'm going to twist off their heads like a Coke bottle. There's one right... Oh, my God. I'm going to freak out in like 2 seconds, and I'm going to track these people down.
I'm actually, I've improved dramatically in this game since the last game. I think I died maybe 50 times in the last game. I've only died maybe 45 times in this game so far.
It's very good. I'm gonna use your truck strategy. I'll just get up on this truck.
Yeah, find that truck.
It worked. I killed a guy, so there you go. I'm gonna adopt your strategy. And I killed you. And then I got killed. Well, some awful human being was trying to knife me again. I just want to find him, and I'm gonna
snipe my eye out.
Put them in a headlock and pull out their tongue.
Nice.
Die. Good, you're dead. Good.
What did you do for the Super Bowl? Were you at a party?
No, I have no friends, so I was just
hanging at home.
Just alone. Just weeping. Oh my God, I got knifed again. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Running around with a knife. I don't even know how to knife somebody. How do you knife a guy?
I'm losing my mind.
Not like I'm gonna get close enough to knife anybody, but
where are people? I'm gonna kill people now. I'm very angry.
Bloodthirsty. You're a bloodthirsty animal, Steve.
This is what happens when.
Do you guys usually work at the office this late?
Sometimes we're very committed to our jobs here.
Work very loosely.
I know that you only work from like 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. But
that's right. That's pretty much all I work. I try to get out pretty early.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh. I can't be any more angry.
What's that?
These people are just running around trying to knife each other. Like, why are you in here? Why don't you go home and like hang yourself instead?
Yeah, it's like people on Xbox Online are just animals or something. Horrible. I picture everybody who plays these games on Xbox Live to be sitting in their apartments wearing suits and drinking martinis, like monocle on.
I think that's the normal. That's the
pretty sure that's all right. One more game.
That's how it goes. All right.
And then I'm gonna have to call it a night. I got important stuff to do.
One more game. You got a lot of squirrel poop.
I got it now. I got to brush my cat. She's shedding all over the place. It's important.
I'm gonna win this one. I swear. I'm actually gonna slide in and win one here at the end.
All right, I'll help you in any way I can because I'm sure as hell not gonna win. So what else? Anything else going on we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Not at all. There's nothing's really happening right now. There was the Super Bowl. It was boring. It was very boring.
Yeah.
The commercials weren't that great. Coke made a commercial that people are talking about because they're stupid. People are stupid.
They are. Everywhere you go, people are stupid, except for us.
Except for us, buddy.
Us. I mean, even us. We're right on the borderline there.
Oh God.
We only look smart because the people we hang out with are drooling retards.
Yeah, that's been my life approach. My approach to life.
That's why I take Joe places with me, because it makes me look incredibly intelligent.
Just making fun of Joe Shopstill the entire time. Was not able to hear it and respond. All of you will die now.
Everybody die.
All of you are going to die now. Yeah! This is how you do it, my friend. This is the way it's done. No! No! I got like 5 kills in a row, but I need more. Always need more. Oh, so slow. One of the most annoying things about this game type, though, is that once you get to... There's like a rocket launcher.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear rocket launcher, what would you assume about how easy it is to kill a person with the rocket launcher?
Well, I mean, it's got to be pretty easy, because...
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I assume it's pretty damn easy.
That would be the assumption, right? But no. It's
no?
exact opposite. Practically impossible to actually kill someone with a stupid rocket launcher.
Well,
I find it easier to knife people than to shoot a giant rocket at their face.
What's so hard about killing people with the rocket launcher?
You have to hit like the ground right in front of them in order to actually kill them. Unlike, you know.
Have you ever shot a rocket launcher before? I mean, do you know?
In real life, all the time, just constant rocket shooting.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. I've never.
And yeah.
Launcher.
You remember last summer? I was that rocket rampage. They call it the rocket rampage of the summer of 2013.
I'm surprised you got out of jail for that. Like they didn't really care. They were like, "Oh, you're a first-time rocket launcher offender, so I guess you can go this time." But
yeah, I used to think liberals were like crazy about their gun control. Oh, there's not enough gun control. But then after that, I was like, yeah, maybe we should have a little more gun control.
Yeah,
Well, rocket control, I guess.
I like gun control.
It's more rocket control than gun control.
We do need more rocket control because there's nothing worse than having, going downtown and being afraid of somebody blowing up your car with a rocket.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I live in fear every day of rocket launcher related crimes.
You and me and most of the mothers of America.
Mm-hmm. I blame George W. Bush and his rocket launcher lust.
I blame Jeb Bush because he's from Florida.
Right.
So, and he's Bush.
Although I belong to the NRLA, which is the National Rocket Launcher Association.
Yeah, but that's just a rocket launcher lobby group. I mean, they're funded by the people who make the rocket launchers. So.
Yeah, but they protect my rights, and also if you go to the building, they have a really great rocket launcher range.
I do like their range.
Yeah, it's really great. I mean, you have to own your own rocket launcher, though, and.
No, you can rent them there. It's fun. But yeah, so as far as the game goes, from my vast experience, I know that it's not realistic.
Yeah, well, Someday they'll make a much better rocket launcher simulator.
Yeah, that's the day that I hope for.
I
hope my kids can grow up and live in a day where the rocket launcher simulations are far superior to the ones we have now.
That's why we're lucky to live in America.
Anything's possible here.
That's right. Oh, I got another gun promotion. I've gotten 2 gun promotions all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then I shot you in the face.
And you killed me.
Rifle, so.
You're not helpful at all.
Sorry about that. And then I killed a bunch of guys. I need to kill more guys. Someone's already on the last level.
So have you been playing this for like months since we last played this game?
This is a brand new game type in Call of Duty Ghosts.
Okay, so you downloaded, this is like the DLC, or?
Well, sort of, yeah. You don't have to pay to play this, but they change up like the game types every once in a while. And I'm glad that they finally put in one that doesn't suck, essentially. Because like 90% of the other ones are awful.
You know what this
game
game
needs? One of the worst
needs?
things about this game. And we lost. I lost. I only got third. I killed like 5 guys in a row. I still lost again.
You know what? This game needs some squirrels, some pooping squirrels.
That would vastly improve most video games, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I would play as the squirrel. Squirrels are dangerous. A squirrel with a spork.
Spork squirrel.
Spork.
See, that's where you got. That's where I think you've gone off the rails.
Yeah.
Sporks they're demons, demon creatures, demons embodied in sporks.
They're wonderful. It's the same love, man. Same love.
If you read the scriptures, Satan's specter is actually it's a giant spork.
Is that in Leviticus? Did
Well
they say
known.
something about sporks?
It's well known if you actually read books. You would know.
I wish I could read. I just play.
Here we are, and I have to inform you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
I just
everything.
play video games and brush my cat. That's all I do.
Do you use a spork to brush the cat?
You know, that's a good idea. I actually should try that sometime.
That's the only approved use of sporks, cat brushing. Everything else is blasphemy.
It saves money too, because you don't have to go to the brush store. You just go to 7-Eleven, grab a handful of sporks, and you're done.
Yeah.
And then when you're finished, you can just eat a bowl of chili. It's great. All right,
Cat
man.
chili.
I got to eat dinner myself
Delicious.
with my spork.
All right. Well, that does it for this episode.
I always enjoy it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. We'll have you on again sometime.
Yeah.
Just keep your damn sporks to yourself. Don't bring them near me. Don't make me pay for them. I've had enough of your pro spork agenda.
Keep your sporks off my ovaries.
All right. Well, that does it for us. We'll have the edited episode will be up on Thursday, so make sure you check the Games and Guns YouTube channel for I take the show and I cut out all the awkward and unfunny crap, and then it's condensed it down.
We don't get very awkward. The two of us.
The like 1% that's actually good is made into a real episode.
I saw last time, but you picked it out well.
So the parts where Dan advocates for cannibalism and spork love will probably make it in. So
we showed that payphone who was boss last time, and this time I really whooped that candy machine's ass. So it's kind of relatable.
You and your attention to detail in the game, it's spectacular.
Yep, I may lose, but I really appreciate the game for the artwork.
We're out, so every Tuesday at 7 p.m. there'll be live streams, and every Thursday is a new episode. I'm Stephen Gutowski, your host, and my guest this week was the lovely Dan Joseph, and we're off to go spork each other in bed, and we'll see you next time.
Later, spork. All right, bye, man.